All right, I'd like to thank everybody for coming to this recording right now. This is the red button, I see it. Just like to thank everybody. My name is Dr. J.L. Hutchinson. Title of my presentation tonight is Getting Ready for Next Year. And what that entails, a lot of people, we tend not to plan only but for our New Year resolution. You know, most people say, well, I want to lose weight this year, I'm going to do this year. So I, over the years, I spent over 20 years in San Diego, and for many years I have always turned around and said, okay, if I'm going to do something for the year to come, I need to plan, and that's very important as far as planning. And the reason I title this Getting Ready for Next Year is because a lot of us do not plan for the year to come. And I wanted to bring up a couple of things as far as we have had some people die. Steve Jobs, he passed away. A lot of things have happened across the United States and across the world with Occupy Wall Street, Occupy whatever city that's in. People are in protest based on our recession, the things that they see, problems that they cannot find themselves in a situation to resolve, finding a solution. So pushing our politicians to a pressing point. If you don't know, as far as our Congress and our senators have been in the office, that's in office right now, if you was to do a background check on a lot of them, you'll see a lot of them have criminal records, if you didn't know that. And that is very important, because you have to have, when we vote for people to represent us in a certain capacity. And that certain capacity is we don't want to find ourselves in the situation that we're in today. If you don't know, the Jefferson County in Alabama, the state of Alabama, which is where the capital, which is Birmingham, actually just filed for bankruptcy yesterday. So they filed for bankruptcy, the largest bankruptcy ever. We have 4 cities that have filed for bankruptcy across the United States. You know, there was a place in Rhode Island, they filed for bankruptcy. And many, many more municipalities and cities will file for bankruptcy. And what that means is that you don't have money for the police department, you don't have money for a whole bunch of other different things, the services that we need. We have over almost 14 million people are on food stamps right now. That's a lot of people, 14 million people in the United States. The unemployment rate in certain areas has reached as high as 13.1%, and that's in that's in New Jersey. I mean, it's Cleveland, Ohio. We have a lot of different issues ourselves. A lot of people just went and just voted. But in saying that, there's still hope. There's still hope for us as a society. And as civilization moves toward the new world order, as far as in regards to us moving toward a new world, because we're connected globally, we need to be prepared. We need to have our minds in the state of mind so that we can understand what's ahead for next year. If you haven't been keeping up with the news, you know the country Greece, they pretty much is about to go bankrupt, and they owe tons of money. Matter of fact, I wrote down how much money that some of these countries owe, and some of the numbers will pretty much will shock you, but it will give you an understanding that we're in the business of playing for keeps, and a lot of these countries owe a lot of money, but as they owe this money, how will it impact me? You say, well, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. It's not going to impact me. I really don't care about what these countries are going through. But it's very important that we pay attention that these things will affect us. I know I wrote it down because I was doing a little research. Let me find it for a second. Yeah, but we have Greece right now is in trouble, and I don't know if y'all know Italy is in trouble too. Let me give you an example as far as understanding this capacity. Greece owes $367 billion. Ireland owes $865 billion. Italy, $1 trillion. And that's today they're talking about maybe $2 trillion to get them out of their situation. Spain, $1 trillion. Germany, they owe Germany and Britain owes money. The U.S. currency is stronger in Europe because China owns everything. The United States, we owe $14 trillion, and we can't pay it back. So what does that mean? You said, well, what that mean? As far as that means that China owns the dollar. So without China backing up the dollar, then it becomes useless. When I say it becomes useless, right now, just based on the inflation, when you spend $1, you're actually spending $1.40, $1.40, $1.45. So you pretty much are in the hole right off the beginning. If you haven't been to the grocery stores lately, you see the prices. The prices right now are pretty high. Even if you go to the discount food places, that's pretty high. And you look, housing, food, money, the future, and opportunities. I want to talk about that today because these are main things that affect us. And I want you to be able to understand a plan, being able to put everything in a plan. Is how much you invest in your plan depends on you, each individual. It depends on how you're going to invest in yourself in the future. So I'm going to just go break down a couple of things. I want to talk about a few things to get you to understand that next year, in 2012, everybody had the prophecy and all the different stuff. But the reality is true. The reality is that our food prices will increase starting in February. When the food prices increase, they already start increasing. So we're looking at a troublesome time right now. But those prices, once they increase, how many people will be able to afford those prices? So, in saying that, I'm just going to give you a little idea of what I do and how I do it and how things, from my perspective, how things are going. I'm in the business of real estate, but I'm also in the business of being a business development consultant. In doing so, I have clients that are affluent clients, wealthy clients, and I tend to those clients because they look for certain investments and they look for certain things in regards to securing their capital. Just recently, we have had a number of transactions that we have been doing, and our clients decided that they don't want cash, so they want to have notes. And when I say notes, that means non-performing and performing notes. And if you don't know about the note business, it's pretty much if I have a contract to pay you a certain amount of money per month or per year, you would take that instead of taking the cash. So you'll get your money over spread it allotted a time based on installment payments. And I only pay taxes on those installed payments. And so recently we have a wealthy client decided, well, I don't want to take any money. So the client decided not to take any money. We actually went to get a performing note, and the performing note is to give the client a certain amount of money over a certain period of time that is secured. Most of the time you hear about notes, it's like people make their mortgage payments. When they make their mortgage payments, that payment goes to a particular person or a particular organization. So what they do is they take like a casino. A casino is built, and the casino has to make payments because they borrowed money. So those payments will go to a certain individual or a certain organization, and that's what a note is. And a note is based on how many payments over a certain period of time, and it has an interest rate, sometimes 6, 7, 10% interest that goes on top of whatever that payment is going to be, whatever that amount is. Well, in saying that, a lot of my clients, they decided, well, we know that next year I don't want to have too much cash on hand. So another thing, so if the people don't want to have too much cash on hand, so they looking at money, the money today. We always have this saying in the note business. They say money today is worth more than money tomorrow. So for our clients to turn around and say, hey, guess what? I don't want to have money right now. I'm going to give my money and put it in the note and make payments. It's just like an annuity. I don't know if anybody know about an annuity. Annuity is taking a certain lump sum of money and giving it to the insurance company, and the insurance company pay you money each month, a certain amount of money each month that you would yield on your investment, because they would take your money, and insurance companies usually invest in real estate. So, as understanding that the housing market is not as great as it was as far as the returns, not as great in investing on the stock market. You see that people losing money as far as the stock market, 401ks, people are losing. And then also, investing in gold and silver. Most of the time, it depends on the company that you're dealing with investing in gold and silver, because some of those companies can most definitely take advantage of you because it's not enough gold, because sometimes you don't want to invest in the paper gold and silver. You want to invest in the tangible. It's a company that I deal with called Silver Cash, where you actually deal in the tangibles. And saying that, next year, make sure you have something that's tangible. Real estate is a good tangible asset, something that you can put your hands on, something that you can touch. Gold and silver that you can touch. When you invest in CDs and different types of bonds and stuff, in stock, you don't see that. There's nothing that you can touch. That is all paper. That is digital. Me, myself, I have been investing in digital real estate. When I say digital real estate, it's virtual real estate, and that is basically on the internet, buying and selling websites. That's a different type of investment. So we're in a position where, what do we do? If you were getting money from the government, Social Security, or you're getting money from a certain county or city, you retired as an employee, you're depending on that money. What if you ever thought about this, what if that money does not come? What would you do? What would your housing become? What would your food look like on your dinner table? And what would your money, how much money do you have saved up? And what is your future? And when your future is looking bleak, it affects what opportunity that you have available to you. So what I try to do, I try to help you plan for things and get ready for next year. Because understanding the conditions of things, it's just like when you're going out, you see it's raining, you have to prepare yourself for the rain. So you just don't walk out with no jacket. You don't walk out with nothing covering your head, no umbrella or anything like that. You have to prepare yourself in order for you to go and do what you need to do, even though the conditions are not what you would like. You have no control over those conditions. The same thing when you're living in society today in the United States or in the world, you have to adapt to the condition of the environment. And that condition of that environment may be that we don't have enough money in the city to do what? For the food banks. We don't have enough money to pay you for your retirement or your Social Security, or we don't have enough money to do a number of different things. So your community is in society, and you yourself, your family is in the community. So, and as your family being in the community, you have to protect your family. You have to also support your community, and your community entail support society and the things that we're facing as far as our environment. That's why we have these people out there doing Occupy Wall Street. But the whole thing is, what's the solution? You heard of the Tea Party. What was that whole thing about? Everybody has their own agenda. So as they have their own agenda, what is your agenda? Your agenda is your housing, food, money, future, and opportunity. In order for you to succeed, you have to have a plan. How much have you invested in that plan? Have